Thank you all for being here tonight. I'm Debbie Stillman, and I'm here with Katie this evening. I'm going to put everybody on mute so we just get rid of the background noise. And voila. So again, thank you all for being here. It's wonderful to see you. Just find a nice, comfy space for your physical body. Some place that's a little quiet, relaxing. Have a couple nice deep breaths. And just be very comfortable in your space. We're going to start out making that connection to the earth. And so I'd like you to just visualize that place at the bottom of your spine, right at the base of your spine. And kind of see that in your mind's eye. And then after you find that, you can just keep looking down, all the way down to the center of the earth. And then just make a connection from that place at the base of your spine to the center of the earth. Allow that connection to be anchored there at the center of the earth. It might be like a monkey's tail or suction or like a seat belt that snaps in. Just however that works for you is great. And then just checking that connection at the base of your spine, having it be connected. And that connection can look like anything you want. It can be a waterfall or a beam of light, a tube, a pipe, a tree trunk, just about anything you can imagine. And allow it to be as big around as your hips. And with that, give your body permission to release any energy it wants to let go of. Maybe you were running around doing errands all day today, and you can just let that kind of busy energy go. Anything that doesn't just feel 100% comfortable, peaceful. If there's anybody else trying to get your attention, you can just let their energy also go down your grounding cord. Be happy to communicate later. But right now, you've set aside this hour for yourself. And so honoring that commitment that you've made to yourself and just being as present as you can be. That to-do list will still be there when we get done. I guarantee it. And just have another nice deep breath. And just allowing your body to relax. Let your mind go quiet. And any thoughts that come up, you can just release them. Just like a leaf floating down the river. You can just let them go and float away. Just being aware of your physical body. You can kind of take your awareness to your feet. Say hello, feet. Hey, by the way, thanks for all you do. If you have that internal voice running in your head, you can just turn it off. And just allow any tension from your body to drain down your grounding cord. Allow yourself to release any tension that's in your face, around your eyes, your forehead, ears, and cheeks. Our eyes are working all the time. And just allowing them to release the energy, allowing your jaw to go slack, your ears to have peace. So I know some of you were here last week and started with Mary on this soul path uh, class we're doing, or that she was doing last week. And so we'll keep working along those lines. I have some really light topics for you today. Oh, but first a joke. I heard a new joke today. Why why should you knock on the refrigerator before you open it? Because there might be a salad dressing. So you might think that's funny and laugh. You might be happier when I say I think that's the only one I have tonight. But either way, be a bit amused in your space and have a little fun. This is kind of fun. It's a little heavy. We can still be a little bit amused and grateful to have the awareness and the ability to move energy or transform energy. No elephants, Julie. Okay, another nice deep breath. And I'm going to start out talking about the Inquisition. I told you it'd be a nice light subject. Most of us, in a past life, of course, not this lifetime, experienced an Inquisition. It might have been the Inquisition. It might have been a smaller one. They were very popular for a while. It was a way of exercising power over other people. Many souls were fractured as a result. Many felt betrayed or hopeless or lost. Because the Inquisition had to prove that it was necessary, they had to find people that committed heresy in their view. And so some people were encouraged, and when I say encouraged, I mean tortured, to admit to things that they didn't do. Some felt forsaken by God, by their religion, by the people in power. So when we have this kind of trauma as a soul, energy can get stuck. It might be stuck in that picture of being forsaken in one way or another, betrayed in one way or another, in fear, in anger. So what I'd like you to do, again, notice your space around you. Just have a nice breath and be relaxed. It didn't happen this lifetime, and it didn't happen to this body. So I'd like you to put a bubble up in front of you. Just a nice little soap bubble. And being in that level of certainty, knowing for sure that it was not this lifetime that went through the trauma, it was not this physical body, and that it's in the past. I'd like you to call back into that bubble any energy, any of your soul essence energy that got stuck as a result of that trauma. And calling it back into the bubble in neutral. We're not calling the trauma back, you're just reclaiming your energy from it. And just allow that bubble to be a little bit of a filter so that the only energy that comes back into it is in neutral. Your energy in neutral. Have a nice breath. Be a little bit amused. You can just let that bubble hang out there in front of you for right now. And we're going to look at another aspect of past life trauma. You know, there was some crazy stuff that went on. So I'd like you to look at any trauma from gladiators, from Pompeii, when the volcano blew. This is my favorite one. Anytime that you were perhaps part of cannibal stew. Or perhaps burned at the stake or stoned. Exiled. Excommunicated. One of the tougher things back then was being exiled from your community, being pushed outside the wall. And in most cases, there was literally a wall, but not all. And not being allowed to take part or be part of the community. Being programmed so that it interferes with your communication to source. It wasn't unusual for the church officials were quite heavy-handed. And it's not unusual for them to, if you had too much communication, if you were in their view kind of playing outside the lines, then you would be a threat and could get cut off. So that you lose the communication from body to spirit and from body/spirit to source. And again, understanding that these traumas happened in the past, they did not happen to your current physical body. We just want the energy, you just want to call your energy back from that trauma. It's kind of like if you go, I don't know, play softball in your favorite pair of jeans, and now they have grass stains and dirt and stuff on them, and you wash them. You don't get the dirt back, but you get your jeans back. And so just calling all that back into that same bubble in neutral. From any of those traumas that you may have experienced. And you might not be sure what it was, and that's okay. Just call your energy back from it. Let it go into that bubble in neutral. The next thing we're going to look at are families. So in your past lives, sometimes there's trauma within the family. It might be a difficult birth. There might be abuse within the family, physical, emotional, verbal, sexual, any kind of abuse. There may have been a level of isolation from other family members. Maybe you were different. Maybe you had some sort of disability or what was seen as a disability at the time. Have another nice deep breath. And again, just calling back your energy into that level. Pulling it out of any place it's stuck, any of those places of trauma where it got stuck. And again, just having your energy from it. The trauma has passed. In most cases, it passed several lifetimes ago. One of the things that you have chosen to do this lifetime is begin to heal that trauma. Now take a look at your bubble with your energy in it, what you've called back for yourself. Catherine, did you have a... And I'd like you to fill it in with a color that you like, leaving that energy in the bubble, just filling in with a color that resonates with you, that would feel good to you, feel good to your physical body, feel good to your soul. And when you have it at that nice color that you like, maybe it's multicolor, maybe it's tie-dye, whatever you want it to be. Just put that bubble over your head and pop it. And let that energy that you have reclaimed for yourself, flow into your body through the top of your head. Hey, welcome back. Been a couple lifetimes. Glad we're getting a healing. There are no villains in soul loss, I'm sorry. Most of it happens when something is inflicted on us by people who are victims of their own traumas. A chain of loss. As one generation passes the injury onto the next. We see this in our physical 3D world. Abuse begets abuse, poverty begets poverty. And we need to break the chain. And so that's what we're looking at tonight. I'd like you to put another bubble out in front of you. We all play both sides. We've been the saints and the murderers, the sinners, the healers and the controllers, and the rulers and the dominators. And so this time, I'd like you to call back any energy that got stuck when you were the inquisitor. I told you it would be light. We all play all the roles so that we can learn. And so don't judge yourself for having played that role. It was your part in that lifetime. You know, it's like being in the school play and you have to, you're Cinderella and you have to play one of the ugly stepsisters or the mean king or whatever. Maybe not the role that you would like, but it was your role in that lifetime. And so forgiving yourself, understanding you did what you thought was right in the time. The Inquisition, for example, was a giant power play. That's all it was. But not all the inquisitors believed that. And they sincerely believed in their heart of hearts that they were doing the right thing for the church. Some of us were learning about power and how it felt to have power over others. And most of us have to experience that power over others and how really unsatisfying it is over the long term. Before we discover our own power within. So any place that you were traumatized as being part of that inquisition. Just allow that energy to come back in neutral into that bubble. And again, let that bubble be a little filter. So anything that doesn't come in neutral just gets filtered out before it goes inside your bubble. And now looking at any lifetimes where you were the gladiator, where you were the cook of the cannibal stew. Hey, sometimes it was just survival. That's all it was. Nothing personal. Or if you were the person making the accusations and part of burning someone at the stake or stoning them or in some other fashion like that. And reassuring the body, these are not things that happen this lifetime. These are not things it needs to react to. You're merely calling your energy back from that trauma into that bubble. Looking at any time that you were the abuser in the family, or neglectful, or the person that banished someone from the house, the village, the church, the town. Sometime when you exercised your power over someone else. As you pull your energy out of those traumas, it loosens up the energy of the other person, allowing it to go back to them if they can have it. And again, just fill in that bubble with some nice color that resonates with you. When you're ready, I'll just have you put it over your head and pop it and allow that energy to flow back into your body and into your soul. The more we're able to have of our own energy to call it back from various traumas and various episodes and escapades in our many, many lifetimes, the more present we can be in this current lifetime. You can forgive yourself, releasing any energy around the responsibility We talk about karma. One of the toughest karma is what we hold against ourselves. And so anything that you're ready to release today, you can just let it go down your grounding cord. Giving yourself a new level of tenderness and understanding. You know, if a puppy nips you, we forgive them pretty easily. They're puppies, they didn't know any better. It's the same with you. And I'd like you to just acknowledge that you're releasing any energy from your space. Just be aware. Anything that you were holding on to that perhaps now you can release as a result of calling this energy back to yourself. Sometimes we have ideas like, well, I don't know what it is, but I just really know I'm a bad person. Well, you're not. Let me assure you. And it's usually some energy that's stuck somewhere, sometimes connected to some of these past life traumas, especially when we don't really have any idea what it's about. I'd like you to visualize in front of you an ex lover, ex spouse, and you can just see their energy in front of you. It might look like them, it might not. You might just kind of know it's there, don't know what it looks like. That's great. Don't worry about it. That's good. You could create another bubble and let any of this X's energy that's still in your space go into that bubble. Often, if there's some unresolved conflict, some unresolved pain or hurt, we kind of hang on to it. It doesn't really serve us to do that. And so, this is an excellent time to just let it go into that bubble. It's that level of energy that kind of keeps us thinking about him. Like, oh, he was an ass. Oh, she was awful. And then you can, when that feels complete, you can just send that bubble to that person. Like, yeah, I still had your Beatles album, but here you go. You can have it back now. Put up another bubble and call all your energy from that person and let it go into that bubble. Any of your energy that's still stuck in their space, Allow it to just flow into that bubble. By putting their energy in a bubble and sending it back to them, it kind of cues up this process. It makes it easier to call back your energy from their space. And again, just allowing that bubble to be a filter. So everything that goes into the bubble is neutral. No anger, fear, or pain. Just calling back your nice neutral energy. That nice clean pair of jeans. When that feels complete, you can fill in that bubble with a nice color that you like. Giving to yourself. Validating your ability to do this. And when you're ready, you can put that over your head and pop it and allow that energy to just flow into you. Just allowing all this new energy you're calling back to just assimilate in a way and a time frame that's easy, that's not stressful. You can let that image go of the X. Say bye-bye. I think we're done now. And it could be that you have to do this again with the same person. Sometimes we don't get it all in one time. But understand that it's normal. It takes a little time. There's no time or space in the spirit world. And so it really doesn't work on our three-dimensional timetable. You can allow the image of your ex to fade. And I thought we'd finish by looking at the planet. So go ahead and visualize the planet Earth out in front of you. You know, those beautiful pictures that we see like from the space station and that beautiful blue ball in the sky. Just let it show up for you. And we'll look for a way to help heal the planet's soul. So you might pick an aspect that you'd like to work on. It might be pollution or trapped pollution, air, gases, oil spills. Looking at the forests, wildlife habitats. And just allow whatever you're working on. It might be the ocean or the streams. Maybe it's fresh water. Maybe it's ocean water. Maybe it's ocean life or freshwater life. You can put a grounding cord on any aspect that you look at, and you can ground it. Let's see, where do we ground the earth? You can ground it to the sun or the moon or any star. Allow her to release these things that are kind of smothering her true essence. We've exceeded the Earth's ability to clean itself, to clean the environment. And that can be invalidating for the planet. And so saying hello, I'm here to help in whatever way I can. Just like us, giving the planet a grounding cord allows her to breathe a little easier. And take a look at what kind of energy you'd like to replace whatever you removed. Maybe it's love, validation, acknowledging the struggle. Perhaps you want to commit to doing a little better in whatever way feels appropriate to you. Having a little more awareness, maybe saying hello a little more frequently. So just fill in those spaces where you released, where the planet released, where you helped the planet release. Validate yourself for being a great healer. Whether you know it or not, or accept it or not, you are. And then I'd like you to put a big, giant gold sun over your head. You can just call back all your energy into that golden sun, any place you may have left it. At the store, with a friend, at work, in the car, with a project. Just call it all back to you in present time and in neutral. You can fill that golden sun in with whatever other energies you like. Maybe it's a color, maybe it's a certain vibration and emotion, peace, happiness, joy. Whatever would feel good to you. You've spent most of an hour working with your soul essence. And so be pleased with yourself. Be happy with yourself, with your ability to do so, with your awareness. And just because you're a pretty great person. When that golden sun is nice and full and of the energy that's perfect for you, just pop it and allow it to flow into your body. Giving to yourself, being happy with yourself, loving to yourself. And just really having that. In this moment. After you've filled yourself in completely, you can open your eyes and stretch. I want to thank you all for being here tonight. It's a pleasure to see you. I hope you have a wonderful week. Take care, have fun, make trouble.